that we show up even when we don't want to show up, right? Even when we don't want to show up for class, push and get your accountability partner on the line because it may be something in this class that he or she may need, right? And we don't want to be selfish, right? And um, you don't want to be selfish. You want to make sure that we share this information with everybody. We want to make sure that you let everybody know that all the success you're having, right? I see a lot of TPs hit this morning, right? Um, and that's a good thing, right? Because when TPs hit, that means we make money, right? Put in the chat where you're tuning in from as well. I'd like to see where everybody is tuning in from as well. Let's go. Let's go. We got uh the shy. We got the shy in the building. Awesome, awesome. We got the shy. Get my music right.
To get started in data analytics, you don't need previous experience or a degree. The Google Data Analytics Certificate will.
There we go. Right. Awesome, awesome. Where we tuning in from? Where we tuning in from? I saw the shy in here. I saw Allen, Texas. Let's go, Allen, Texas. Louisiana, Kentucky. Let's go. Let's go. Gary. All right. That's Gary, Indiana. Okay. That's Gary, Indiana. That's a question. Gary. Awesome. Awesome. Charlotte, North Carolina. Let's go. Let's go. Philly. Oh man, I had a best friend in Philly from Philly when I was growing up. I grew up down south, but I hang out with a lot of up northerners, right? The Windy City. So I'm believing that's the shot, right? We got Austin, Texas. Awesome, Austin. Awesome. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. Okay. Gary, Indiana. Nice. Nice. Awesome. Awesome. Oh, tuning in from in Charleston, South Carolina. Thank you for asking. Awesome. Yes. Thank you, Jerry, for asking. Make sure y'all put some fire and flames in the chat for yourself for showing up to class today, right? Make sure you put some fire and flames in the chat for yourself. Congratulate you for showing up to class today, right? Because you deserve to be celebrated, right? Awesome. Yes. Yes. Everybody should be putting some fire and flames in the chat because I'm even gonna put some in there for me showing up today, right? Well, I can't put no fire and flames in the chat, but I'm gonna put. All right, all right. Also, make sure everybody joins the new Telegram group. No class tomorrow night, right? But then we got the call on Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But there's a new Telegram out, so make sure that you add yourself to that new Telegram, or make sure that somebody can get you that Telegram link, right? Awesome. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right. So we looked at a good bit of pairs, right? Let's go back and see what lessons we learned, right? Because we learned a lesson on US 30, but it was just because we did not. Yeah, the SOS call. All right. Awesome. Awesome. Friday night. So no, not Sunday night's class. Monday night's class. But we'll review that at the end. We'll review those go through the schedule at the end. But make sure y'all put in the chat what type of pairs you want to look at today, right? Put in the chat what type of pairs you want to look at today. We will go over some. Okay, GU. All right. The NAS. Nice. So the NAS is actually filling in that gap. So I'm glad that he said the NAS. Kyle said the NAS. Awesome, Kyle. Appreciate you saying that because that was actually in one of our reviews because that was actually a win that we got, right? But let's do the I like to do the good and the bad, but I like to do the bad first, right? I like to do the lessons first. So let's look at the US 30, right? And we lost on the US 30, but I always got a solution on why it happened because right we was in for the sell. We didn't have our stop loss high enough. Let's break it down a little bit more with the candlesticks. Go down to the 5-minute and scroll over. There we go. All right, so if you look at this, it's because we didn't have our stop loss high enough, right? If we would have had our stop loss,
you got to share your screen.
Yeah, share my screen, yeah. Okay, you said share. Okay. All right, little glitch in the system there. All right, we on. All right. Put a fire and flame in the chat if you can see my screen. Awesome. All right. So what we're going over the US 30, right? The US 30 was a lesson that we learned on Monday, right? And because we learned that lesson because we didn't have our stop loss high enough, right? Because even 50 pips really wouldn't have been high enough if you would have put 50 pips. So, I mean, it's just some you win, some you lose, right? But that's just a lesson being learned right there. But that was the lesson, but we know why because our stop loss wasn't high enough. But just like I say, sometimes what we do is I put my stop loss a little bit lower because it being the US 30 and not knowing the size of other people's accounts as well. You got to make sure you put your stop loss according to your account and your account size, right? And your lot sizes. Make sure your lot sizes are a good size according to your account size, right? So let's go to the NAS because the NAS was dropped in the chat and it's actually a review on us with the win. All right, so this was us right here. All right. This was us right here. We had a sell by market, and this was actually a winning trade, right? Because we had our stop loss high enough, which we had a 25 pip stop loss, right? And it literally, probably fake people out all the way up here, right? This is like the fake out breakout type stuff that people thinking that they're in the wrong trade, right? I'm in the wrong trade because it's close to my stop loss and it's just really there to pry on your emotions, right? That's what the market does. It pries on your emotions. You want to have total emotion, be emotionally controlled over the market because the market can really play around with you, right? So, but you just have to really just trust in your trade, really. That's really what it's all about, is trusting in your trade. And trusting in your trade, meaning, staying in until TP hits, or even securing your trade as you're getting into profit, right? Or just being patient in the trade, right? Because you have to be patient, disciplined, and consistent, right? And those are the 3 pillars. The 3 pillars that we teach is being consistent, patient, and disciplined. And I get into certain ways that you could self-discipline yourself if your trades don't go right as well. Just do something that you do not want to do, whether that be working out, whether that be just something that you don't want to do that will actually do you some good, right? So self-discipline yourself, right? get yourself out of the comfort zone. So we it hit TP down here, right? So it was playing around in between here. It even went back up to in the negative, right? Even went back up into the negative a little bit. But holding that trade throughout the night, being patient. And as you can see, if you zoom out, it was also a perfect trade as well, because we saw this shoulder, but it just really just went up a little bit more, right? And made a higher shoulder. So you still was in the good trade. We were just in down here, right? Which half the time, yeah, it's going to do that. It's going to do a little pull against your actual entry and then eventually go in your favor, right? So we risked 25 pips, right? We risked 25 to gain 48 pips, right? So, for calculation, say we made $480, right? I like to use the dollar lot per se. Of course, it's going to be a little bit different on the NAS and US 30, but just for easy calculation purposes, I use the dollar lot, right? And just calculating that's already $480, right? So the TP hit, right? That's one trade that we executed, and it went great. All right, let's remove those, and then we're gonna go to the other trades we did, and then we'll come back to the NAS and mark up the NAS. All right, AUD USD, right? AUD USD hit TP, so that was a winning trade, right? Played around because what we saw was, right, going back to what we saw, and it all confirmed, is this was a right shoulder, right? It was just stuck inside of this right shoulder for a while, right? And then it even came back down to the right shoulder again. So this coming back down to the right shoulder again, back to your entry, back in the negative, that is the emotional side of trading right there, because half the people literally got out right here because they was thinking that their trade was going in the opposite direction. But as you can see, if you look left again, it's still at the shoulder, right? So that's why you always have to look left, because it's still at that shoulder. So, and also what you also see right here, which could have been just a re-enter or a re-entry, right? It could have been a re-entry because we see a W right here. So at this shoulder, again, it did a W, right, on the 5 minute. So which means on W's, we get in right here, right? So which means that could have been a re-entry of the entry that you were already in. So, you could have made even more money if you were re-entering another lot, right? And then, on this one, it played around. See that? And that's what I say, it's just an emotional, you have to really, master emotional intelligence when it comes to the market, because it literally will make you feel that way. So that was a win, right? Came back down, came up here, and let's see how much we risked, right? What was our risk to reward ratio that we used? Risk to reward, we risked only 14 pips, right? So low risk, and we gained 25 pips, right? Well, let's drag it up a little bit and see where it actually went. Probably about 50, no, maybe 40. Let's see where okay, about 44, almost 50 pips, right? Before it actually did its thing. Well, it still went, but it still came back down to entry again, as you can see right here. Looking left, came back down to entry once again. So once your TP hit there, it could have got in for another one right there off of a wick. So it's just really confluent with the zone, see? Because look, it's at that zone again, right? We just bought from this zone on Monday, right? We just bought from this zone on Monday, and it's doing the same thing again at the same zone, right? Doing an inverted head and shoulders right now, you feel me? So yeah, this shows you how congruent the actual market is. Oops. Congruent when actual the market is. So, there we go. Get that out of there. And it actually does this all the time. It actually keeps coming back down here to your entry, right? And possible buy from that same. Could just have an alert down here, really, to see how many times it actually hit down here. Every time your alert goes off, it'll be at that zone again, right? So, good review on that. And then right here, we see a head and shoulders pattern, right? Nice. So we'll come back to that one. Okay, we did GBP USD as well. All right, so this was us, right? This was us right here. And this was a winning trade. Now, people down here, let's see. So the people down here, they're getting out, right? They're scared. They don't know what's going on. They get really scared because right here, right, you're in the blues, right? Right here, you're in the blues. Let's actually measure that. How much of the blues are you? You went in the blues probably 10 pips, right? So that's a nice $100, right? Nice 10 pips, nice enough. That's a nice $100 bill, right? But then it pulls down 16 pips. So now you negative 160 pips. You feel me? So that right there is the emotional roller coaster. Oh, we're up 10. Oh no, it's not going in my favor. I'm going to get out, right? So people are getting out with a negative 160 instead of being patient in the trade, trusting your trade, trusting your entry, trusting your stop loss, right? And just trusting your trade, man. Because, and then also understanding that even down here on the 5-minute, if you see the eyes, right? If you have the eyes, we see an inverted head and shoulders pattern right here, right? So, with that being said, that just could have been a signal for a better entry down here, right? It could have been the good traders are probably buying down here, right? They're adding in more lots. They pulling down $160, but they're saying, no, I'm gonna trust my trade. So maybe they put in some more lots, put in two or three more trades, right? And then the takeoff happens, right? The takeoff happens. Now let's see where it actually went. Let's see how far it actually went. 46 pips. So about the same as AUD USD. It actually did the same thing, right? Because remember, when you see GBP USD, when the USD is at the end, right? When USD is at the end, majority of the time, those pairs are going to do similar things, if not the same thing, right? May do it at different times because they are different currency pairs at the front, right? This right here activates a little bit different than AUD, but it's going to do it. It does the same patterns as y'all see. They're really congruent with the patterns. So, and then anything with USD at the front is going to do pretty much the exact opposite because the USD is at the front, right? So when GBP is strong and USD is weak, that means everybody is buying GBP and everybody is selling USD, right? Just keep that in mind. It's like a seesaw. It's like it's like a seesaw, and they pull between each other. That's why you have the bulls and the bears, right? That's why we know about a bullish market and a bearish market, just because of that right there. It's GBP, right? Pulling against USD. So that's why I like to say this slash right here should have been a actual versus sign. It should have been Great Britain pound versus the USD, right? Facts. Yeah, so we're gonna look at the next one and then we're gonna come back to that one, right? Because we're gonna see a little bit later, we're gonna see how we can print some money, right? See how we can print some money from the markets. So the other pair we had was Euro, right? Okay, so the Euro USD one, we actually had a lesson on that, right? So the lesson was just like on the US 30, right? The lesson was that we did not have our stop loss low enough, right? But maybe our account couldn't hold any more pips, but it's only 15 pips, right? We pretty much risk the same amount of pips on each of those trades. But if we would have dragged this down to at least like 25 pips and risk 25 pips to gain 5 pips, half, 50-50, right? We would have won it, right? If you would have just put at least 10 more pips on this trade, it would have been a winning trade. So just like I say, don't beat yourself up about it. It just happens sometimes like that, right? And then at the same time, at the bottom of this, right, where your stop loss would have been, it still was doing a inverted head and shoulders pattern, right? Inverted head and shoulders pattern. And it's smiling at you, you feel me? Smiling right at you in the charts. All right. So then we got the head and shoulders pattern at the top, right? Because at the end of the top trend, we have a head and shoulders pattern right there. Then right here, we have a M right at the shoulder, right? And that's normal. That happens in the market all the time. The M's happen at the shoulders, right? That means it's about to continue to drop, right? So keep on zooming over, right? Keep on zooming over. And just look what you see, right? So still going down the hill, right? But this is what I like to call the stairway, right? Going down the stairway. And it keeps going down. The steps get a little smaller, but it's still like a stairway, right? So we'll clear out this, but that was a lesson, and read the actual lesson learned will be the fact that we didn't have our stop loss lower. So we shoot for 25 to 50 pips, we would have won that trade, right? All right. So we're about to get into the class where we start to print the money. Let's see. No, I didn't do that. I don't think I did one on that. Okay. All right. So let's see who. Oh, we got some fire and fighters in the chat. Appreciate that. Yeah, so put what pairs you want to look at as well. Make sure you put down there what pairs you want to look at. GBP, USD, and NAS right now. So we're gonna get that in. See what's going on with that. All right. So currently we see what, a W in the market happening. I see a W happening right now. But let's do the whole markdown, right? We see the patterns. We're gonna do a whole markdown for it, mark up.